Hello and welcome. Have you come across a time when you have planned an aligner case and you want to outsource it to someone else so that they can go ahead and 3D print it, or you want to outsource it, or you want to share it with one of your colleagues to give you an opinion on it, and so on and so forth. So today I'm going to show you how can you start and plan a case and then send it to someone else so that they can either verify, make any changes, and go ahead and proceed and print and thermoform and deliver it to the patients, or they can make some changes and how can they send the plan back to you where you can then import it back into your system and then proceed with the printing and exporting of the case. All right, let's get started. So we have a case over here where we have done some aligner planning and we intend to actually export this case out. So there are multiple ways of sharing this. One of the ways is you can share a virtual setup, like a video of your planning with someone else, and have them give an opinion, or you can, if they also have the 3Shape clear aligner studio with them, you can directly share your entire plan till whatever stage you have reached in your planning. Everything, if you have done exporting the plan, it will get exported out or it will get imported by the opposite person with all the steps and all the models, all the videos that you have created in the plan. All right, so let's have a look, how do we go about it. So let's assume that this is the plan that we intend to share it with someone. So you right click on this and there is something called as export, and you export a .3SZ file. All right, so you click on that. It's going to ask you that what all do you want to export. Do you want to export the analysis, the treatment data? You want to export the raw scan data, the export screenshots, the DICOM images if you have imported them, or the CAD models, and you want to have them also have access to the videos that you have exported. So honestly, I would recommend that you check all the boxes and you hit export. Once you click export, based on how large the case is, it's going to take a while. So as you can see, it's done exporting. Now what you can do is you can always add or pin this folder to your start menu. So I'm going to share a screenshot of this. So this is in your computer, into your primary C drive. There is a hidden program data, so which is visible only if you turn on hidden items, where you will see the program data in that 3Shape and in that Ortho data, and then you go to the case that you were actually focusing to, and this is where you will find the 3 or .3SZ file. All you need to do is take this and either send it to that person over WhatsApp, or you can email it to them, or send it via some file sharing platform with that person. And now let's imagine that I am that opposite person now, and this is what I have downloaded once it is shared with me over the email. All I am supposed to do is I would then go back to my clear aligner studio. I can click anywhere, right click basically, and click on import case or import cases and patients from file. You click this and then you can import the patients.3sz file. The moment you click on this, it's going to ask you that, so in my case, since that file already exists, it's going to ask me that do you want to create a new one, or do you want to merge it with the existing one, or do you want to skip? So if you're importing a file or importing multiple files, and if you have already imported that, it's going to recognize that you have a file with both these plans and it's already there. So do you want to create a new one, or update it to existing? So you can always have someone sending it over a gradual period of time, and whenever you will add a newer scan, like if you notice this scan was taken on 28/10/2025, then the next scan was 9/3/2026, everything gets stacked over an original patient ID. All right, so it's a fantastic way. If the patient's name has not changed, it's internal. If your using a trios to scan and a unite to scan, it becomes seamless absolutely. So this is the way how you import the case and how you export a case if you want to share it. So for example, let's say you are one of our participants and you want us to evaluate your plan. Just a quick revision, you're going to click on the case, right click, export the 3SZ file, locate the folder. From that folder, you then send the file to us. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to my patients folder, right click over here, import the case and directly have the file ready over here for me to view, evaluate, edit, and probably if needed, send it back to you. There's one more way. If both the parties are using Communicate, you can also share the same thing via Communicate. You can go over here and you can send it via Communicate to whoever you decide. For example, you add Communicate IDs over here and you can send it via that. But this is a fairly open source and a fairly simple way of going about it. All right, hope this was helpful. If there are any queries, leave them down in the comment below.